Once again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining another session of Azure Power Lunch. As you know, we record these calls and we place our recordings on our YouTube channel. So if you don't want to be recording, you may want to drop off now. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about a Retina, which is a network observability platform for Kubernetes. So if you have Kubernetes cluster, you can use Retina for network observability. So here is a quick agenda. But before we go any further, just a quick reminder that there won't be any session next week. Okay, so next week we are not gonna be having any session. It would be week after that we will start on 19th. Okay, so let's quickly move further. Here is a quick agenda. We're going to be looking at what is Retina, some of the key features, use cases, and of course, it will be a demo filled session. Mostly, it's going to be demos. So, um, here we go. So, what is Retina? As I said, it's a Kubernetes observability, network observability platform. What and so First of all, it's based on eBPF, which is stands for Extended Berkeley Packet Filter, and this is a technology that is used to extend the capabilities of the operating system without or kernel without adding new module. So, and by the way, a deep dive in eBPF is not in the scope of this discussion. Um, what we are going to be talking about is the context. In what context? So, whenever you are doing any observability, you need to do it at the kernel level or operating system level. So, because that's the best place to do it. But any modification there are hard to do. That's where things like eBPF comes in handy, which allows you to extend without extend the capability of extend these capabilities without modifying or adding modules to the kernel. Got it? So that's why. So so that's how this Retina works. One other thing I want to mention that it's a cloud agnostic, so you can run it with AKS. You can run it if you are running Kubernetes on-prem or in any other cloud. Wherever you do, it works. Okay, and it's an open source platform, so you can take a look and make modification and things like that. Okay. Second part, what it does, it's a on-demand and configurable. So what you can do is you can use it as a centralized hub for capturing, application health and network monitoring, all that type of data. Second thing that I want to mention that the intelligence or information that you get can be used by network administrator, DevOps engineer, or security administrator for to make decisions. For example, to make alerts and things like that. And it also does packet captures for deep network analysis. Okay, and the network telemetry that it gathers, that telemetry um, you can store it in Azure Monitor or Prometheus. There's multiple storage option, and you can visualize it with Grafana or log analytics and things like that. So that's kind of a quick overview of what Retina does. Any questions? And it's available, by the way, so you can use it. It's as I said, it's an open source platform. Okay, so let's move further. Here's a quick diagram. How does it look? So you have Retina, eBPF based Retina running here in a on the Linux node, um, and from there it's collecting the information, metrics, telemetry, and it is storing it in metrics are stored in Prometheus visualized through Grafana. Any captures are stored in storage account, and you are doing that processing. So kind of a high level diagram. Okay. What are the key use cases for this thing? And that's important. So the key use cases are, well, the most common use cases. Why my two pods cannot talk to each other? I have two services running on these pods, but they cannot communicate. How do I do it? Okay. In Without this, what you will have to do is go to the node, figure out where those pods are running, install TCP dump, run it, capture dumps, do all that. Okay. On the other hand, with this thing, you can do all of that with a single command. Okay, you can automate that. So that's the beauty of this thing. Second, when we are talking about the monitoring, it um, gathers a lot of information like drop traffic, a spike in DNS errors, things like that. So all of that information is gathered and made available to to whatever tool you like, for example, Prometheus, and then you can have this displayed through Grafana, or store it in Azure Monitor and display it through Log Analytics, whatever the tool that you like. So it allows you to monitor. So there are two things. Number one, ability to investigate network connectivity issue, and second, monitoring network health. So of course, it's a network observability platform, so that's what it does. So with that, any questions? Okay, so demo time. Most of the time we are going to spend in the demo. So let's go ahead. So first of all, let me show you here. I have, there are three clusters. This is the cluster that we are going to be doing monitoring. And this cluster is have two nodes. So let's start with that. So first of all, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go in. Okay, I'm going to go into Cloud Shell. So some of the stuff I will run in Cloud Shell because most of the like Helm and all those things are installed there, so I don't have to do any setups. And some of the stuff I will do it in my local machine in in a command line window. Okay, so or in a Linux shell, whatever that is available. So let's do that because we're going to be running some things locally. So first of all, and by the way, all that information that I'm going to be showing is available on the Retina site, and we will take a look at that as well. And you can take a look at it, and you can run it yourself. So nothing that I'm doing is kind of special or something. All is explained in very detail. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the context or get the credential to make sure that I can target this cluster. So let's do that. I'm going to paste it here. So this is the now my default cluster. And now let's run the command to install Retina. Okay, here it is. So this command will install Retina on this cluster. Okay, this is our cluster and nzapl Retina cluster 02. Okay, one thing to keep in mind that you can install it, and of course, you will need to use Helm to install it. If you want to uninstall it, command is there, and it will allow you to uninstall. And let's take a look at the pods from all namespaces. Let's see what's going on there. Because what it does is it installs pods to run it. So you will see these pods. As you can see here, these are the pods. So two agent, one operator, they are all running, each agent for each node, and then the operator. So this is kind of to kind of regulate and coordinate things. So this is now running. Okay. Um, so that's that. Okay. So once that is running, now it is collecting information, and we can go in and we can basically start seeing this information. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to install Prometheus, and we are going to set that up. So let's do that. Okay? So we can get that information and use it. So let's do this here. Let's paste this. And this gonna install Prometheus, and it will take a second. And once Prometheus is installed, we can take a look at it. Okay, give it 1 second, and it will start running the look. Any questions?
So can we run this throughout the life cycle of the cluster, or can we enable, disable as needed when we
You
want
can
to
do that.
monitor?
You can do both. You can do enable, disable, and you can do run it throughout the life cycle of your cluster as well. Okay, absolutely. But
No.
yes, that's both options are available. Okay, so now we are running this Prometheus. So I'm now going go into my local machine, and I'm going to run uh, this command, which is doing port forwarding. Uh, okay, but before I do that, give me 1 second. Let me set the context first. Otherwise, it's gonna pick the wrong context. So let me set the context. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, so the context has been loaded, and now let's run this. Okay, so this is now gonna be port forwarding Prometheus, uh, and let's take a look. Let's see what's going on with Prometheus and if all the pods are running and they're targeting the right. So there's one matrix that is down, but all the Retina pods are up and running, so that's good. Um, One pod is unhealthy. I have to check what's the reason, but anyways, the two pods, the most of the information that we need, that there, and we can use that information. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to use Grafana, and we are going to uh, plot this data that we have in Grafana. And for that, we're going to use Prometheus Grafana. So first of all, first thing that we need to do is, once again, one more port forwarding. So we are going to go back to our shell, and now let's do port forwarding to 9091. Okay, so now we are port forwarding Prometheus Grafana to 9091. So let's go back to our browser and let's refresh it. Okay, so it asks us to log in. We're going to provide the username, and let me get the password. And hopefully that's the right password. Okay, yes. So there are no dashboards found. So first of all, let's confirm that with this Prometheus Grafana, we have this Prometheus, and default Prometheus there. So that's good. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to install a dashboard. So we are going to go in here, new, import, and this is the ID of the dashboard. We are going to load it, and we're going to say import. So this is now showing you network observability metrics. Okay, as you can see here, this is the bytes forwarded by the clusters. It has just started, and this is showing you egress, ingress. Some data is not there because we may not have the you know kind of a source of that data, but that's okay. But just to give you an idea that all of that information that we all of that information now we are able to gather it through this um, running this platform and through Grafana. And by the way, um, at this moment, I didn't see an example on how to send this data to AKS, but oh, sorry, to Azure Monitor. But that's I'm sure that can be done as well. But this is just to show like how you can use it to send this information to Prometheus and show it in Grafana. So this is the monitoring side of it. Any questions? And these are some of the dashboards. So if you want to see here, for example, this is the network observability dashboard, and then you have the um, the master nodes as well somewhere here. Uh, so all that information you can see and you can access in this particular. So let's go back here one more time. And as time passes, more information will start appearing here. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So that's one part of it. The next part is how we do a capture. So let's first run the capture, and then what we will do is we will look at the capture itself. So the way you're going to run the capture is very simple. No need to go to the nodes and find out. The only thing you need to do is run this command. And let me show it to you before I run it. Let's go in here. Okay, I'm gonna go in here, and this is the command. Okay, one thing is you have to install to run this from CLI, you have to install Retina CLI. Okay, and then to install Retina CLI, it is a crew-based module, KREW. So you have to run crew first. Make sure you install that. It's in your path. Then through crew, KREW crew, you will install Retina CLI, and then you will be able to run this command. If you run this command without it, it will tell you, hey, I don't know what you mean by Retina. Okay, so kubectl Retina, it's saying create. This is the host path. This is where it's going to put on the host. This is the node selection. So you are picking up nodes. So whatever nodes that you want to use, you can pick it up based on these node selectors, and it will capture do the network capture for these nodes. Got it? So let's run it. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me run it from here, I think. May have installed it here. That's interesting because I thought that command is here. Okay, so may not be in the path because when I reran it, it may have removed it from the path. But that's okay. So one thing that will happen is when and sorry, my snafu, I think I restarted my machine just before this demo, so it removed Retina from its path. So that's why it's not able to recognize this command. So this exactly the same error you will get. Um, if Retina is not in your path. So just keep in mind once you install it, make sure it is added to your path so you can restart your machine. Otherwise, you will end up in this kind of a demo snafu. But in any case, so not to worry. I already have another installation where I have already created a capture. So let me show you that. So by the way, what when you will do it, it will do the capture, it will run the pods for the capture, it will do the capture, it will store that data, and what you will do is you will be able to see that data on those particular nodes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you um, where that data will be on those nodes. So this is the first thing. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install a debugging pod. So here is a debug pod. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me just get the right node name. So what you have to do is you have to go in and we will have to go to the cluster, find one of the nodes, and we will run that debug pod on it. So I'm gonna go into the node pool, and this is my node pool, and these are my nodes, and let's get this name from here. And now I'm gonna go and paste it in my command line, and let's run it again. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Uh, okay, so it's gonna be creating a debugging pod. Okay, and I'm gonna show you the directory where you find the capture file. Because we did not run it on that. Okay, in any case, this will be the directory. So what happens is when you will start it, you will capture it, and the capture will be in this directory. And the file will look something like this. This would be the file name, and it follow a certain pattern. So file name would be like this. You see, this would be the file name, and this is how the file name will look like. Got it? So once that file is created, you can pull that file and you can pull it on your local machine. Once you pull it back on your local machine, let me show you what it will look like. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I have it here. So let me pull my directory here. So this is basically this is the file that sorry, 1 second, let me just expand it. This is the file that I was referring to. What I did, when I copied it on my local machine, I changed the name. If I open it, this is basically a zip file. So it has a lot of information. You have IP resources.txt. I can open this file and uh, so this is how this file looks like. You can see this is the IP resources, and if you have IP table rules, this is the TCP dump dot log. Let's open it. So this is tells you the TCP dump dot log. The most interesting file here is this Wireshark capture file. So let's open Wireshark and take a look at this file. Okay, I'm going to bring in Wireshark and I'm going to open this file. Here it is. Okay, so this is so my point is just by some kind of a point and click and running it from your local machine, running some command, you can capture all that information. You can capture this information from your nodes, all that network capture. You don't have to go in and go on each node to set it up. You run a single command with the help of Retina, and you can capture all this network information. Right now, we are not running any applications on these nodes. This is not very, I mean, useful information. But if you have applications running and there are some issues, then definitely this thing will help you to find out where, how, why you can't access one pod from another pod and things like that. Okay. So I know we have 3 minutes remaining. Any questions? Okay, and I know there was a bit of a sorry for the demo snafu. the only in regards to crew, because the thing is, uh, you, uh, you once you install crew Retina with crew, it has to be in the same path. So I think there was some, I think I restarted my machine that screw up the path. So that's why I'm unable to run the Retina command, but I showed you the data that I already ran. So you have to, believe in my word that this data was captured through Retina. Just wanna apologize for that. So any questions? Okay. If there are no other questions or no question, I will give everybody their 3 minutes back. And just remember, no session next week. We will meet the week following on 19th. So hopefully, hope to see everybody on 19th and 12th. There won't be any sessions. So thank you very much and have a uh, wonderful day.